Good evening, I'm Jeff Koinange, and this is Jeff Koinange Live. Tonight, the rumble in the jungle, the thriller in Manila. Better yet, Kenya versus Uganda. That's right, we may be East African community, but when it comes to the topic of sugar, it's not such a sweet deal, according to one of my guests tonight. It's going to be a showdown like no other. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Gladys Chalet on the bench. She had a family emergency. But I tell you, this show is a show you will not forget. Sit back. We've got the bullfighter of Ikolomani, the senator from Kakamega. The doctor himself, Dr. Bonny Khalwale, is the man in the middle. On the far end, the man, yes, let's admit it, we all love to hate and love at the same time. Another doctor. There are two doctors on the bench. Make that 2.5. It's a, what issue? Mihonya issue. Yep, sugar to you folks in Western Kenya. It's gonna be a hell of a show, folks. The Twitter handles are, note this because the doctor's Twitter handle has been abused of late. So his Twitter handle is at K Bonny Khalwale. No, Bonim Tetezi. At K Bonim Tetezi. And at
Dr. Matsanga.
You heard him?
Dr. David Matsanga, son of soil.
I don't know what soil. Okay, Dr. David Matsanga. Mine is at Koinange Jeff. And we're live across East Africa. If you're watching us across in Uganda, your guys on the bench tonight. Oops, I forgot one thing. You know we're gonna be needing this instrument tonight. Sit back. The hashtag tonight is Matsanga Khalwale. Hashtag Matsanga Khalwale. Let's go. Dr. Hari?
Yes.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Dr. Hari?
Yes. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Welcome.
You both are neighbors, right?
Yes, we are from one tribe.
You speak the same language?
One ethnic
Mundu
tribe.
Mundu?
Yes.
Shirenje ho Shirenje?
Yes, we believe in one custom.
Take care about Shirenje.
Yes, Shirenje is different. But the Umundu Humundu is the one.
Shimwinyi ho Shimwinyi?
Yet that is nice, is togetherness. And we have one custom that unites us.
What's that?
Don't forget.
What's that?
Circumcision.
You're not the only ones.
No, it is the only ethnic group of the Luya people who started it.
I'm not going to ask you to show us in any way. No demonstration.
You need to bring a lot of money to be shown. Oh, yes.
Dr. Hari?
Yes.
Sugar deal.
Yes.
The president goes to Uganda. Allegedly, some sugar deal was struck. We don't know if it was signed. We know it was struck to import sugar from Uganda. Mumias, of which you have been extremely outspoken about because of the thievery and the theft and the corruption that went on and dragged that company down. Mumias is down on its knees. Instead of importing sugar from Brazil, maybe it's better. Obviously, it seems better in any technical language to import from Uganda. In your assessment, Dr. Hari, is it a good deal to import sugar from Uganda?
I want to thank you for inviting me on this very
Dr. Hari, you're always welcome, always welcome.
On this very important issue. And because I have come here to represent specific interests, and because I'm speaking from a position of the interest of the Republic of Kenya, I would like, for a start, to be clear which interest Dr. David Matsanga is defending, because to me, the people I defend today, the suppliers of mumias, the people who do whatever kind of business with mumias, the people who are losing jobs in the sugar industry, and the farmers are aware that this problem has come as a result of a meeting between the two heads of state, Uganda and Kenya. So I would like to know, does Matsanga represent the president of Uganda or does he represent the president of Kenya, or both, so as to know how to engage him?
Matsanga?
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me on your show. And I promise you this time I will only bring facts. One, I'm a Ugandan by birth, born, bred. My mother, my father are Ugandans. I was born in Uganda in 1956. Brought up in a Christian family. Therefore, as I speak as one, a Ugandan, two, as an international person who has gone out of Uganda, who believes that Uganda is not alone in an island, but a global icon, a person who looks at things not parochially, not in a parochial manner. I look at a tribe as a nation, as my nation. But above all, there are nations. That's why I am.
So, and in this context, Dr. Matsanga, in this context, who do you represent?
Yes. The people of Uganda who are consumers. My mother, the only living soul on our line, 86 years old. She drinks this sugar. She does take Kenya products. Therefore, my brothers, my sisters, my cousins are just across Honorable Bonny Khalwale's area. We intermarry, we interchange lots of things. So I represent one, my mother, two, my relatives, three, a nation, three, Africa, and above all, when Khalwale talks of he wants to know, I have not come here in the capacity as an ambassador. I don't think I have ever acquired ambassadorial status, but I have done one thing. Wherever issues of this nature, there is one thing I've shown, that I will never condemn my country. Thus, I have patriotism.
Okay, so you think that deal was good then?
First of all, let's clear this mess. Maybe Doc has never studied international relations. There are two things: a communique and an agreement or a deal. I want to ask, do you have that agreement? Do you have?
Maybe.
Let's go slowly.
Maybe
you asked me. You have asked me. A communique is a document that captures. Let me now teach.
So now you're saying that there may not be a deal. Are you saying there may not be a deal?
Let me help you.
It is. Let me tell you.
Okay,
the deal.
Okay, that's how it's done.
Wait. You are cutting me short.
I'm not cutting you short.
I have not finished. A communique was issued where various stakeholders of the businesses from Kenya and the businesses from Uganda sat down and talked about a number of things. That's a communique. A deal is which specifies how many tons, how many lorries, which points the sugar will enter. That's a deal.
So you're saying there's no deal?
It is not there.
Okay.
What right. These people are showing is a communique.
Hold that thought.
It's a communique.
Jeff, what viewers should understand is that Dr. David Matsanga is not new. He is an activist of everything and anything. He's best known for his activism in defending the interests of certain people at the ICC, not just in Kenya, but in other areas as well. And therefore, it is not surprising that that activism of his has now come onto the critical issue of sugar. Just to disabuse what you have just said about my lack of training in international affairs. It is true. I've not been trained in international affairs. I've been trained in medicine. But unlike you, who is an activist,
yes.
I have served as a representative of the executive in the East African community as an assistant minister, where I went through all that it takes for an agreement to be converted into a tool of doing trade. So at the moment, honorable members who are watching us today, the truth is I do not need to walk into this press conference or into this TV show with any document. The admission by President Uhuru and the admission by President Museveni that this deal was signed is enough for us then to premise our discussion on it. So my understanding is that yes, the deal was struck and we have to face the consequences as I am doing now.
Bottom line, good deal, bad deal.
It was a very bad deal. Not because there's anything wrong in Kenya importing sugar from Uganda. Kenya has been importing sugar. There's nothing wrong with it. What is wrong about it is a country that has no surplus sugar, not 1 ton, being given the privilege of enjoying export status into Kenya, when itself is a net importer of sugar. The second thing which is wrong with it is that the consequence of that particular permission is going to work at the detriment of the farmers of the Republic of Kenya, who, by the way, are not only Luhyas. Farmers do it in Luhya counties, in Luo counties, in Kwale, Mijikenda counties, and finally Transmara, where we have the Masai County. So this is a serious national issue which requires that we separate it from politics. Finally, the third consequence why we must defeat it is because the president did this in exchange of a Kenyan interest. And when we dissect that Kenyan interest, it boils down to beef being taken to Uganda and milk being taken to Uganda. All Kenyans know that beef, there is no beef to be exported from Kenya for the reason that Kenya Meat Commission died a long time ago. So the real player here is milk. And who is the owner of milk in Kenya? The number one player is Brookside, owned by the Kenyatta family. Okay. So it would be wrong for the President of the Republic of Kenya to go and negotiate on behalf of his company in the name of the Republic of Kenya.
I think, real quick, Kenya's shortage is about 200,000 metric tons.
Yes.
Right? About 200,000.
Yes.
Uganda does not produce enough to fill that gap.
Sorry, let's come to facts. And usually he's a teacher. Here.
Tell me.
Here is yours. You're a teacher. You pick.
Tell me what you want to tell me.
Pick a document.
Tell me. I want to hear.
This is a document from the Uganda sugar manufacturers.
Okay.
A consortium of the Ugandans who manufacture sugar. There is a problem we have. Let's not divert it to personality, because I see my senator going down to the Kenyatta family. Let's look at the sugar. I want to ask you one question. Is it the sugar which is bad, the people of Uganda who are bad, or the president that you always attack? Two, looking at the exports that Uganda does, in 2014, and sir, you better read for this guy, Uganda had a net surplus of 118,360 metric tons. When you talked, I kept quiet. You better listen, and in fact, you're a senator of the highest degree.
Carry on.
So let me debate.
118,000 metric.
Yes.
Surplus.
A surplus.
That's 2014.
Yes.
2015.
Now, Uganda, today, as we speak, it has a surplus of 148,000 metric tons.
Surplus.
Uganda has not said the consumption. You look at this,
yep.
You will see how much we consume and how much is left. We have not said we have all the sugar, or the Uganda government, or the people of Uganda say they have all the sugar to supply the deficit that Kenya has. But let's go back to why Khalwale and others failed to see the light. Is it the sugar which is wrong? Is it the management of the sugar which is wrong? Or what is wrong?
Can I speak to your document?
In Uganda, the production of sugar is far, far cheaper. Two, Uganda's industries are privatized. Koinange, look at my eyes. And Senator,
slow down, we'll get there.
Yes.
Let me respond to your document.
You will respond.
So what if they're privatized? So what?
They inject private capital. In Kenya, we are looking at the government. Let listeners all over the world listen to this. We are looking at the government. In Uganda, the sugar factories have been privatized, and there is an injection of private capital which boosts the production.
But for many years, it
Here
worked
in Kenya,
it worked.
Instead of this guy here fighting for one, removal of subsidy, to put subsidy on fertilizers, subsidy on equipment, he's fighting Uganda.
Senator, real quickly.
This document,
Yes.
you should turn it like this,
Yes.
and show Kenyans that it is not an authentic document.
Did I say?
Yes, that's what you're trying to
I
argue.
said yes.
This is a fabricated document.
From who?
Obviously, from
You
sugar
can get
barons.
it.
Relax.
You can get it.
If you don't know how to debate, why did you come?
No, I know how to debate.
Yes, and then relax.
Unfortunately, I don't want to debate with a lazy brain.
Yes. So now, this, Kenyans, you can see, this is a piece of paper
Yes.
that can be raised on any laptop in River Road. Yes. So it cannot stand in a serious debate like this one.
No.
Okay. Number two.
That's number one.
The lies that are in this document are as follows.
Yes.
How you wish
Yes.
that the figures you are quoting were the truth.
Yes.
Because we are guided by science, the East African community has commissioned a study,
Yes.
and the study has produced a document called the State of the Sugar Industry and the Strategy of Managing the Trade of Sugar in the East African Community. In that document, they have quantified what each country produces. Let's go to Uganda. Uganda, last year, produced 314,000 metric tons. Listen to me.
Exactly.
300. Yeah, that's why I'm not reading you. 300.
Yes. So how can it come from River Road?
Relax.
You know you have.
Wait a minute, let me finish.
Yes, he said the document came from River Road. And you have quoted the exact figure here.
Relax.
Then you are
Uganda, Kenyans, I want you to know this. Yeah. How wish, Jeff, you can bring me somebody more patient.
No, I'm patient today.
Uganda produced 314,000 metric tons. Sorry, Uganda's consumption, it is at 314,000 metric tons consumption. Its production is at 294,000 metric tons. So it is producing less sugar than its consumption. This is by that study. Now, when you allow somebody who is a net importer to then be allowed to export, you now open avenues for deals. To this extent, there will be sugar coming into the country purported to be from Uganda.
And it's not.
It will come. But the sugar will, however, come from Brazil, arrive at the port in Mombasa. What will leave Mombasa are the papers, the documents. They'll be stamped, and the sugar will be indicated as having gone to Uganda. But while at Mombasa, it will be labeled as transit sugar. Then it will be repackaged to look like it is Ugandan sugar and then sold in the market. So what do we lose? So we lose revenue as the government. We lose revenue, and activists like Dr. Matsanga are very happy. They ring back home, they say the deal went through. We'll have lost our revenue.
And there's some people making a lot of money.
And then our yes, people will have made money. Then our farmers will lose out because the cheap sugar, which is not customized, will therefore be cheaper than our local sugar, and in the process, our sugar will be run off the shelves.
Doctor,
this is the bottom line.
So what you're saying, this document is
rubbish. We would like Uganda to bring in sugar, but the day they'll produce enough sugar,
then we'll talk.
You do not have sugar.
Okay. Gentlemen, you can. As soon as we come back from the break,
you don't have sugar. Which sugar do you have?
Pay some bills.
It is really, it is really bad manners.
You don't have sugar.
For grown-ups like
we'll let them continue talking.
To quote the same document, then you tear the same document.
Then it means you never. Hotel
you don't understand.
At K Bonny Khalwale, at Dr. Matsanga, at Koinange Jeff, the hashtag Matsanga Khalwale. We're taking a break. They're still talking. Fire extinguisher is about to go off.
You don't understand.
Gentlemen.
For him, not me.
Back in a moment.
Why did you